And that's when Lake Sinclair filled up.
March of
Really?
1952 flood.
And they started it before the war, right? Is that right? They started clearing.
It was, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It was started in 1929.
Because that's what, I
And
guess
they
that's what my
stopped
dad.
And Mr. Ed Jackson that lived over there. There was Jesse living down there on the river. Mr. Ed lived back up the road, but he was on the river. But you went into his place differently. And
But it's right up from the mouth of Oconee and Little River.
yeah, right down there where they were.
Because we had a camp.
That was a beautiful
Daddy
place.
Oak Street
where
had a camp
Little
down there
River
right
ran
at the
into
mouth of the river.
Oconee River. It was absolutely beautiful down there. And
Do you remember anything about the Oconee Springs Hotel that Miss Pinkerton ran?
all I know that there was one there and it burned.
Right.
Mm-hmm. His daddy worked there as a teenager because that was his aunt, Aunt Lizzie King Pinkerton.
Yeah.
It was his mother's sister.
I was 11 years old when the war started. They bombed Pearl Harbor on a Sunday afternoon. And I remember my mother and Mr. Yearwood, 2 or 3 people, they all sitting around the television.
Television. Radio.
Radio.
Radio, yeah.
You
And,
get-
that's right. And,
It's hard to think.
Daddy kept that radio running in the store all day long. War news, war news.
Now, where was that store?
My daddy's store. When you go into Milledgeville, there's the light. Where you stop that flat rock.
It's right at the corner of
And it was
Milledgeville
sitting up there
Highway.
about 200 yards on the left.
At the corner of the Milledgeville Highway and what is now Twin Bridges. I mean,
Pea Ridge.
Pea Ridge.
So it was on the left. There's a
coming
church
up Pea
right
Ridge
there.
to the Milledgeville Highway. It was up right here on the left. And Billy
Okay.
and them lived across the highway over there. And his store was over here.
Well, there used to be a little convenience store there on the corner, didn't the Rainey's?
Bill Rainey, yeah, it was on the other side, kind of
Right.
where Billy's house was, but they took that.
When they did this,
They
when they
redid.
fixed the road this time, that road has been
That was the
redirected or
worst
whatever
highway.
you want to say 3 times in my lifetime. But this last time, they bought it from Bill and he never did, they had to take it to court for him to get what he thought he was worth. And to find the jury give it to him.
Well, it's a prime piece of property.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to pay Bill anything for that.
Right. Yeah.
And he tried to tell him to get him to understand, you're putting me out of business.
Yeah.
Right.
And they taking, it was